Hello, you lovely lot. Now, as it's Animal Anxiety Awareness Month, I said at the beginning of this month I was going to give you as much information as possible on anxiety in dogs. So anyone who's brought my Train Their Brain in 10 Ways experience, and if you haven't, you need to go and get it because it's brilliant for anxiety and all other sorts of behavioural issues. I'll drop the link below. But if you have bought it already, you would have seen me on there explaining about how our dogs, as they get older, become more pessimistic. When we're born, every living thing is more optimistic because we don't understand the dangers around us. We don't understand that things can come and hurt us possibly. But as we become aware of this, we're then more aware of things making noises, things moving quick, maybe things falling on us, all that kind of thing. So that then in turn makes us more pessimistic in our outlook of the world. And our dogs are exactly the same. So they realise as they get older that other dogs will bark at them or they'll move quickly. They realise that people want to come and stroke them and they possibly don't like that. And they realise that there's things in the streets like cars and motorbikes and push bikes that move really quickly, and some of them also make noises. So this all becomes really overwhelming for our dogs, right? And then that can make them scared, which in turn can make them anxious, which in turn can then make them display other unwanted behaviours. So what do we need to combat this? Well, we need to make our dogs disengage from these things. We need to desensitise them to them. We need them to realise actually they're nothing to worry about, and actually, quite frankly, they're just none of your business. So we start this training off in our home, somewhere where our dogs feel safe. It's a good place. It's an optimistic place for them. And we can do this by using our TVs. We can use Alexa. We can put sounds on that our dogs can listen to very slowly, very quietly to start with. And we can reward when they don't react to these sounds or sights on TV. Then, once we have got a positive thinking dog around those noises and sights in the house, we can then move it outside. So we can then go to places where there are more things happening. We keep at a really large distance, a big distance away from these distractions, and we do exactly the same as we would indoors. So if our dog looks at a distraction and they don't react, we reinforce that with loads and loads of praise and maybe even a high reward treat. As our dogs become more comfortable at this distance, we then move a little bit closer. And what we do is we then build this up. So our dogs then become more optimistic about these things outside than they do pessimistic. This is the correct way to socialise your dog. This is going to help us build a more optimistic dog, which means they're going to be less likely to have anxiety, which means they're going to be less likely to perform behaviours that are driven by anxiety. So if you've got a dog that is reacting to noises or visual stimuli, why don't you give this a go?